that gets to Planted. I've spent about 2 decades working at this intersection of sustainability, startups, crossed over into media on occasion, and have always had this point of view of that if you're going to build businesses around sustainable solutions, those solutions should be hopefully better than the status quo, should be able to compete on price, and should be so awesome that people would want them even if they didn't care about climate change or saving the planet. Just right, it just meets them where they are and really fits their needs. And so that's been a through line for me. Right before Planted, I was running my second modern design sustainable furniture company. The first I had in New York about 2 decades ago, which was a showroom and started in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which I lived in for 4 years. So very committed to this type of thing. And the second one, it was called Simple Assembly. It was kind of IKEA style, direct to consumer, really beautiful furniture, trying to hit an accessible price point. And we were using this very high quality Forest Stewardship Council certified wood, in this case, a plywood, right? So it comes from responsibly managed harvests, has this whole kind of chain of responsibility connected to it. And the pandemic hit. At first, that was great. We were selling desks, and as people were furnishing their homes and moving away from the office. And then it was terrible because our factory shut down, and like many others, we were stymied. When I could get this material, which was not very often at that point, the price was going through the roof and the quality was going down. And it really got me reflecting about material. And it got me reflecting about this idea of, okay, this wood is, comes from a responsibly managed forest. But is that really like the best we can do in terms of materials in terms of saving the planet or creating truly sustainable solutions? I kept thinking about that. And in that moment, as I was kind of shut down and reflecting on materials, I was introduced to a guy who had moved so I was in North Carolina. He moved to North Carolina. I was living in Asheville up in the mountains. I'd been there for about 8 years. And Wada had moved to the Raleigh-Durham area. Someone we both knew put us in touch, said, hey, you should really talk to this guy. He's got a little manufacturing thing going like you. And I took a look at his website and I thought, I don't really need to talk to this guy. I'm very brand driven, aesthetically driven, and it was not that. And so I kind of dismissed it, but he's very persistent. So we get on the phone. Wada says to me, man, you're going to build this awesome company. It's sustainable. And I'm like, no, I don't really think so. And I tell him all my issues with material. And he's like, well, what would you do? And I'm like, well, I think maybe hemp. I don't know, something that has more renewable, grows faster, has a better story. He's like, oh, I've got 6 giant trash bags of hemp in my garage. And I was like, what? Who are you? Where'd you come from? What are you talking about? He's like, well, I just moved here. I just spent 8 years running the life support systems team for the Dragon crew spacecraft at SpaceX.
Wow.
And I'm like, and you just moved to Raleigh-Durham? And he's like, well, I left. I'm an engineer. I put a spreadsheet together of all the cities in America and my criteria. And like Raleigh came to the top. We got here. There's a lot of trees. It's nice. So here we are. What was awesome was I was thinking about kind of renewable materials through my lens around sustainability. Wada, coming from SpaceX, was thinking about carbon removal because Elon was talking a lot about carbon removal. And so we kind of instantly latched on to this idea of, well, man, what if we could develop a supply chain for some biomass that actually could grow faster than trees? What if we could do that? And then we thought, well, if we could find something that grow much faster than trees, we could pull carbon in a faster cycle down from the atmosphere. And so then we thought, well, what if we could find something that could pull carbon faster that was also actually had utility, that was going to be durable, that we could actually maybe replace trees in? And where do trees go? Trees go into home building. Okay, well, what if we could get a SpaceX team here and build a factory to make some engineered product out of some material that's not trees? What would we even make? And so all of that was like 30 minutes. And I was like, dude, here's what we should do. I'm going to shut my company. I think you should shut yours. We should go do this. 2 weeks later, Wada's in Asheville. We go for a walk and we're like, yeah, we're going to do this. Let's go talk to home builders, figure out what they might need. And so Planted is actually that. What we eventually latched onto was a very fast growing grass. That's rapidly renewable. It kind of looks like bamboo, grows like bamboo, thinner than bamboo, so we can mechanically harvest it. And we got to work building verticalizing a supply chain around ag to grows grass, from culture lab to greenhouse to giving plants to farmers in North Carolina and Virginia. We brought more SpaceXers to North Carolina, and we built the world's first electric modular production capability for essentially making plywood, or what's now oriented strand board, which is what replaced, right, what you nail to the 2x4s in a house to get your walls, your roofs, your subfloor. But we make it out of grass instead of trees, and it's an electric factory. So we pull carbon down, but we don't give it back up a smokestack, and we get to carbon negative building materials. We're now working with the largest home builder in the country, Horton, who in the fall of 2024 purchased or placed an order for 10 million panels. That's about 90,000 homes. It's been a proverbial rocket ship of a company.
That's amazing. I want to actually click into the 90,000 homes at DR Horton. And I have some questions actually around the material itself. Before we get there, I want to actually touch on your furniture side of this place in Greenpoint. Two questions actually come to mind. The first is, you had said initially when you were talking to your co-founder, what was his name again? I didn't catch it.
It's Wada, like water. He's from originally from China. Wada.
And you had seen his website, and you were kind of like, hey, this is not, it's not sexy. There's no brand here. What is your idea of brand? Like, I kind of want to flip that question around of like, what does brand mean to you? What does design mean to you? And obviously you had this kind of premium furniture company. And I think that ties to how and why products can be delightful as well. And so I just want to pick on that for just a quick second. What does that mean to you?
My sensibility around design is always, it's always been kind of contemporary, future forward looking, very interested in the visual aesthetic. And I think because for me, around thinking about sustainability, probably maybe growing up and whenever the age that I grew up, but with these preconceptions of sustainability basically being like a burlap sack, some twigs, you tie some string around, you sit on at a campfire, right? Just like this sort of stereotype of what eco-friendly used to be. Because when I started my first modern design furniture company, eco-friendly company 2 decades ago, that's what it was, right? That's what else was out there. And so for me, it's always been very important to lean into think about like a Tesla, right? When that first came to market, that versus a Prius, right? Just like this, what that signifies to someone was like, wow, like the most beautiful thing could also be the most sustainable thing. That's always an ideal that I have.
That's really cool. And the second question that I came up, and since I have you here, I'm sure a lot of the audience has this question of, if we're going out and buying furniture, you had mentioned the FSC, the Forest Steward Council. What should we look for? Like, should I be shopping at IKEA? I just think it's like it's a very normal question, right? Like, we're moving out of our apartment in New York. If I'm going to go buy new furniture, should I go on Facebook Marketplace? Is it better to kind of get embedded, stuff that's already been made? I saw this interesting Instagram video where they were kind of like, people love older furniture made in the late 1800s, early 1900s, because the wood that we're growing today grows very quickly, and therefore it's less dense, and the products kind of break down quicker, and so we kind of want this more reliable, robust wood. I don't know if that's true or not, but if I'm going to go buy furniture, should I not buy something? Should I buy something? Where should I look at?
Okay, so first of all, that is true. The wood from and that's because we cut down